Hello, I'm Kabalamat and welcome to episode 21 of Rule the Waves 2 Let's Play Japan. The current situation is we were at war with Germany. We've just captured Borneo from Germany, that's this one here, but unfortunately Russia has stabbed us in the back and declared war on us. Russia has a lot of forces in Northeast Asia, whereas most of our forces are currently in Southeast Asia. Germany did have some forces in Southeast Asia, but they've mostly moved away now because we've captured Borneo, which they were using as a base, and they can't use it anymore. So what we need to do now is move our forces from Southeast Asia back into Northeast Asia, combat the Russians, who seem to have 9 battleships and battle cruisers in Northeast Asia, and then see what happens. The Russians also seem to have 5 battleships and battle cruisers in Northern Europe, and both the Russians and Germans have quite a lot of ships in Europe. Maybe they will be moving all their ships in Europe to attack us. So that's our main goal immediately, is to move most of our ships back from Southeast Asia into Northeast Asia. So that's what I'm going to do next. So that's most of my ships going back into Northeast Asia. Let's have a look at submarines. We're building quite a lot of submarines already. We're winning the submarine war, or rather we were against the Germans. We've only got 22 ships in trade protection, so we need to put some more in. So I'm going to do that next. I'm also going to build some specialist anti-submarine warfare ships. So let's put 1, 2, 3, 4 on trade protection. Let's put that up above what it needs to be. And the next thing I need to do is look at my anti-submarine warfare ships. Open design. So the new anti-submarine warfare ships has K guns, increased depth charge storage. It also has anti-aircraft guns, and the secondary armament is dual purpose, as is the main gun. Let's see what happens. And that seems to be okay. We'll give that, actually we'll keep that on cold fuel, and let's build some of those. Right, looking at what's under construction, we've got some of these building, we've got these destroyers building. Now I'd very much like to build an aircraft carrier, and because we've got some money now, I'm going to do so. So design ship. So the Shokaku, our new carrier class, has 72 aircraft. It's also very well armed. It's got 3-inch flight deck armour, it's got 4 torpedo defences, a 2-inch belt, a 1-inch deck, and 1-inch hangar side armour. And the whole point of that is so that if it is hit by airstrikes, it can hopefully survive. It's got a decent anti-aircraft armament, and it's got a main armament of 8 4-inch dual-purpose guns. So that should be a good ship. It's going to cost $3,200 a month for 26 months, so we can just about afford it. And let's build that. Unfortunately, that is going to take a longish time to build, but that's life. So let's play the next move. Fleet battle against the Russians. And we've got 12 battleships and battle cruisers in the area. They've got 7. Oh, plus 1 old battleship. And they've also got a CV. Yes, we definitely want to play that. And the Russians decline battle because they run away. We've commissioned another submarine. That's good. Standard medium AA gun has serious deficiencies. Right, we don't want to bury the report. The problem can probably be resolved with some modifications, but for now we have to use it. Well, that reduces morale. Do whatever it takes to fix the problem. Yeah, I don't mind the prestige here. I can afford to lose the prestige. And I will just have to pay the money, won't I? The enemy has sounded us out about a negotiated peace of us gaining disputed border areas. Well, that's certainly a very good basis for peace negotiations, because we already lifted Borneo off them. And we've gained some concessions on minor territories, and our naval budget is reduced. Okay, so that's the end of the war. And we've still got these ASW3s ready for construction, so let's build. We don't need to build all that many, but we will build 3, I think. So we're building 3 of these ASW3s. We've still got a positive monthly balance, and so we have to look into measures to reduce our spending. So all these submarines go in mothballs, whole construction. That's given us plenty of spending, and also a lot of our ships are going to go into either mothballs or reserves. So let's do that. After moving a load of ships into either mothballs or reserve, we now have lots and lots of balance in our budget, which is very good because it means we can build more ships. And we're going to, after these destroyers are completed, let's just build another destroyer actually. And as well as those destroyers and those anti-submarine warfare ships, we've got the Shokaku-class carrier built, and I'm going to get some of our old destroyers and I'm going to repurpose those, the Hikazis, as anti-submarine warfare ships because they're not really very useful at the moment. So open design for rebuild. So the Hikazis now have increased DC storage and K guns, and their main armament is now dual purpose, and they also have some anti-aircraft guns. They've got new engines. The speed is still only 27 knots. I'm not sure whether we can increase that. We can't really. The speed is still 27 knots, and so they've got some positive weight remaining, and that's going to cost about 500 per ship to rebuild. So let's do that. And we're rebuilding those 15 ships. That's going to give us a much increased anti-submarine warfare capability. Bear in mind that we're also building these 3 ASW3 ships as well. So let's press on with the next move. Airbase in Borneo. No. Airbase in Borneo. No. Improved bulbous bow. Magnetic mines. And while we're at it, we're going to put all our air groups into reserve and the Ryujo in reserve as well, because it all costs money. And so now we've got an increased amount of money. Russia has stolen technology from us. We shouldn't really get upset. We can't really fight the Russians because there's nothing to fight them for. Because the thing is, they've got the only territory Russia's still got in Northeast Asia is their home area, which we can't conquer from them. So there's no point in fighting them. The people we need to fight now are either the Americans or the British. The British would probably be ideal because we could get quite a lot of their colonies, and if not, then the Americans. So let's have a look at where we are in terms of ships. So comparing to Britain, we've got slightly less battleships than them. We've got much less battle cruisers. We could do maybe with another battle cruiser, but it may well be that we're entering the era of carrier warfare now. They are much bigger than us in aircraft carriers, so it's lucky that we're about to build a load. Looking at the USA, again, they've got more battleships than us. They're not as strong as the British in battle cruisers, and they've got a lot of aircraft carriers. So it's aircraft carriers we need to build right now. Go to the build screen, and we can build some more of those. So we're now building 3 Shokaku-class aircraft carriers. Each of those has 72 aircraft, so that's a combined air arm of about 210 aircraft, which is very powerful. That should be a very powerful strike force. We've still got a bit of money remaining, so we're going to build some more destroyers. So looking at the Hatsusei class, they seem to be ideal already. They've got 6 5-inch dual-purpose guns. They've got lots of anti-aircraft armament. They've got a very powerful torpedo armament, and they've got a very powerful ASW armament. So let's just build some more of those. And so we're building a load more, an extra 4 Hatsusei class destroyers. And so let's press on with the next move. Hat 11 is commissioned into the Navy. Now, do we want better understanding with Germany? Yes, we do, because we want to be at war with Britain and America. And in fact, I'm going to bear that in mind with these. We're upping intelligence on America and Britain. New docks completed. Improved 7-inch guns, that's good. Improved dive bombers. So speed is increased, bomb load is the same, and range is increased, that's okay. Let's have a look at aircraft in general. So our medium bombers, float plane scouts and flying boats are all quite old, so we need a renewal program for them, and we'll start off with the flying boat. So the flying boat needs, the first priority needs to be range, and the second priority needs to be bomb load. We need that technology, variable pitch propellers, damage control practices, better radar, that's very good. Aerial depth charges. Okay, we can increase the size of our docks. I normally, in this game, I try and build at least one maximum size ship in every game, so I'll maybe... my current biggest ship is the Yamato, which is only 66,000 tons. So maybe I'll build something that's bigger than the Yamato. The problem is I'm a bit low on money. I can't really afford it. Maybe after these aircraft carriers complete. Although I think we're probably moving from an era of battleships to an era of aircraft carriers. So maybe not. Okay. We need that technology. Ten destroyers have finished their reconstruction, that's good. Increased fire hazard awareness. And there's still some being reconstructed. So let's have a look at these destroyers. We can, oops, they're up here somewhere. It's these ones here, which these are all going to go into mothballs for now, until such time as they need to be. Because one of them is still on its way. 3 corvettes are commissioned, that's good. We need good guns, better 18-inch guns. We probably won't be using them. I tend not to use 18-inch guns. The largest I use tends to be either 16 or 17. Whenever I've had ships with 18-inch guns, they've not really performed very well. Maybe that's just a coincidence. Anyway, we should send a diplomatic note in the strongest possible language against the USA. And we're building these 3 aircraft carriers. Quintuple torpedo tube mounts. Well, I think our next batch of destroyers will have 10 torpedo tube in quint mounts. This will allow them to have more surface armor. Improved carrier design, that's good. New German torpedo bomber. Decremental chilling technique, whatever that is. Flying boat prototypes. Okay, so that's the fastest. No, sorry, that's the fastest. The longest range is this one by a long way, and they all seem to have equal bomb loads, so it's going to be with the HE XPD 36. And so that's that. So now we need to look for proposals for float plane scouts. Float plane scouts need a long range, and they also need to be reliable. The Germans are interested in submarine improved diesel engines, by all means. High pressure steam plants. ASW mortars, they're very good. Aerial depth charges, they're very good as well. That's increasing the capability of anti-submarine warfare, which suggests that submarines will be less powerful in future. I think the future thing that's going to be powerful is air power, so I'm going to concentrate on that now. Lexington, 9 16-inch guns. That's quite a powerful ship. It's 62,000 tons. See, my 66,000 ton Yamato has got 16 15-inch guns. So their ship seems to be a bit underarmed. The armour is only 11 inches. It's got very thick deck armour, mind. That suggests to me that it's planning to fight at long ranges. It's fast as well, which is also a point in its favour. Three destroyers are commissioned into the Navy. Now, the Americans are selling us the rights to subdivision and damage control. Yes. High pressure steam plants. The Russians have stolen technology and torpedoes from us. We should send a diplomatic note in the strongest possible language. And we've got some extra money. We could actually build another aircraft carrier. So let's build another Shokaku-class aircraft carrier. So we're building the Shinano, which is another Shokaku-class aircraft carrier. So that's 4 we're building now. I think the next group of aircraft carriers we build will be CVL's light carriers, which may be more flexible. And also we don't mind so much if we lose them. Pandora, 15 6-inch guns. Now if we look at our light cruisers, they've only got 9 6-inch guns, so that's clearly outclasses them. It's also fast. It's got okay armour. And it's got a decent DP armament. Maybe we need some more light cruisers. It might make sense to build a ship with a load of 5-inch guns as a light cruiser, similar to the historical Atlanta class or Dido class, to be an anti-aircraft light cruiser. So we've got a bit of money now, and these are about to be built. So I think it's time to look at light cruisers. Design ship. Light cruiser, auto design. So the Chikuma-class light cruisers are armed with 12 5-inch dual-purpose guns, so they've got quite a good anti-aircraft factor. They've also got lots of lighter anti-aircraft guns and AA directors. They've got mines. Can I put this up to 88? Will it still have that? No, it doesn't like that, so it wants us to reduce this armament a bit. Is it happy now? Okay. So crowded centerline mounts will affect rate of fire. It doesn't seem to like that either. I may get rid of the C mount actually, because if that gives us 20% more rate of fire, then I've got. What does it think now? Ship can carry 86 mines. Okay. So it's got lots of mines. It carries 2 aircraft. Actually, I'm going to put that down to 1 because they don't really. Actually, no, I will keep that at 2. It is a cruiser after all. 2 aircraft, always useful for reconnaissance, and it's an anti-aircraft cruiser with 10 5-inch guns. So let's build some of those. Excellent, and press on with the next move. 12 additional destroyers, of course, sir. Now, let's see. 12 of these Hatsutses would cost 5,000 a month, so we could afford that. I'll just go and build 12 of those. And so that's a load of Hatsuse-class destroyers. And we're making the next move, by all means. High pressure steam plants, that's good. Germans have got a new torpedo bomber. Chikuma, not now because we don't have any money, because we're building loads of destroyers. Float plane scout requesting progress, so let's press on the next move. Destroyer commissioned. Airborne radar from Great Britain, that's very good. Chemical oxygen generator makes our subs better. So this one will be, this Hatsuse 18 will be finished in a month, so that will give us a bit more money. By all means. float plane scouts. So the longest range is this one here, which is shorter range than our existing one, so that's not so good. It is faster though. It's not as tough either. Cancel. Okay, what else can we build? We can build a medium bomber. So let's get a medium bomber, and this wants to have range and bomb load. Flight deck catapults, which you can maybe retrofit to our existing aircraft carriers. Italians are buying radar. France has stolen technology in radar. Do we want a war with France? No, I don't think we do, actually. Russia. We should send a diplomatic note because fuck Russia. Okay, so let's have a look at the map. There's nothing we can conquer off the French, really, particularly. We could conquer that thing there, but it's not really that important. We can't really conquer anything off the Russians either. We don't really want a presence in the Baltic, so maybe we should reduce tensions with Russia. We really want tensions with Britain and America, by all means. Yes, national prestige, give them double that amount. Skip bombing. Build bigger air bases. Britain has stolen technology from us. We should send a diplomatic note. And where are we now? We're still negative in terms of funds, but 2 of these will be finished in 4 months' time, so that's plenty of time. Thank them for the offer. Cooperation will benefit both our nations with Italy. Allows BBs to screen CV. Circular AA screen. Well, that's good. We need this technology. I'm going to have a look to see what technologies I'm researching and what I might do better. I think that shipboard airborne aviation is high. Naval aviation should be high. Missile technology should be high. Amphibious, that can be low. Naval guns are not as important now as they were. In fact, we've got 1 for everything, apart from 18, which is 0, so we'll put that on low. Radar and electronics is high. Anti-aircraft artillery, that should be high. Fleet tactics, we'll make that medium. Explosive shells, medium, maybe high. AP projectiles, we've got that on high, we'll put that on medium. Light forces, medium. Torpedo technology, high. Submarines, high. Anti-submarine warfare, high. That's high. Ship design, high. These can be medium, that can be high. That seems reasonable to me. Okay. So we're just waiting for these aircraft carriers to finish. So those 2 aircraft carriers are finished. And the Stettin is very similar to the one that we were about to design. It's a bit bigger than ours though. All dual purpose guns. Quintuple torpedo tube. We're going to put those on our next class of destroyer. Italy has stolen technology. We shouldn't get upset about that. New medium bomber prototypes. Well, that's interesting. That one's faster. They've both got equal bomb loads. That one's also, as well as being faster, it's got longer range and more manoeuvrability, so we'll get that one. And we've now got lots of extra money. So looking at this point, we've got 1 aircraft carrier about to finish. The other one, the Shinano, will be finished in a year's time. We've got a load of destroyers about to finish, and we seem to be in a reasonably good position. I'm just going to compare us with the Americans and the British. Now we've got, in terms of CVs built and building, we've got 4. The Americans have got 10. The British have got 4. So maybe a war against Britain would be better. Both of them have got light aircraft carriers. We've only got 4 of those. We should maybe build some more and put, because they're quite cheap to build. In terms of battleships and battle cruisers, we've got the same as before. The Americans have got a little less in battleships, and they're building some very big battle cruisers by the look of things. Let's have a look to see what the Americans... Yeah, they're building... Yeah, these 62,000 ton ones. Well, they're quite big ships. What are the British building in terms of ships? They're building a Resolution, which is quite a heavy ship, and they've got these Invincible-class, which have got 9 16-inch guns. Again, our biggest ship has got 16 times 15-inch guns, so although it's a lower caliber, it's got a lot more guns, almost twice as many. Maybe we need to build another big surface warship, or maybe we could concentrate on aircraft carriers. So anyway, that's the end of this turn, and I'll see you all on the next episode. And as always, if you like my content, press the like button and subscribe to my channel. Bye for now, see you next episode.